Okay, let's be real. Dreaming is cute. Dreaming is fun. Dreaming is amazing. But I need a plan. So I made one. And today I'm going to be sharing exactly how I'm getting to my dream life so that way you can get to yours too. Hi, my name is Michaela and I am the host of Cozy and Thriving, the podcast where we just learn to build our dream life without burning out, building something that we actually want to be present for. And I'm so excited for today's episode because I started this series last week about just like building your dream life and picking something to go to. And my thing for this year, the goal for this year is to become a full-time content creator and podcaster by the end of 2025. Someone commented on my last podcast episode and said 18 views does not seem like a full-time content creator, and I had to put it aside because haters are going to hate, but we're going to get to our dream life, okay? Okay, so because I started this series, I also wanted to do something on my short form platform, so Instagram and TikTok. This actually just ended up being a TikTok series. And because I did that, I ended up making an entire notebook dedicated to this series, but it also is going to be just for my life in general. I think that sometimes we just need to write stuff down on paper, and I made it nice and cute. I put the lace on it, I put the letters on it. So if you're watching, you can see it. If you're just listening, it's on TikTok of me like putting it together, and I promise this won't be the last time you see this notebook. We're creating our blueprint, and I kind of want to talk about my notebook for a second, just so that way you guys know like exactly what's going in here. So if you want to create your own, if you want to have, whether it's digital or like this, like an actual notebook, you have kind of like what I'm doing for yourself. So on the first page, I put the Future You project summary, and I put why I was starting this notebook, like why I wanted this to be something that I remembered. And then I put my why. Why do I want this to be my dream life? Why do I want my dream life to look this way? Why do I want to be a content creator? Why do I want financial freedom, all of that. I put all of that on the first page. So when I open up this Future You project notebook, I see exactly what my project is about. I was like thinking about this like in terms of like school, when you would have like notebooks and you would take notes and stuff, but then like you would have to do a project on it and you would be using your notes, I don't know. So I thought it was just kind of cool to do it that way. I actually haven't used a notebook for anything other than prayer journaling in a really long time. I try to digital journal just because I don't like having a bunch of notebooks. It's so weird because I have so many notebooks that are just like written in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool to like go back and read. And I probably go back and read every 3 years do I open an old notebook and actually read it. So I've been trying to do it digitally, but this is like really cool to have like a notebook that's dedicated for my future. Like this isn't a prayer journal. This is not me like writing my deepest, darkest secrets. This is me planning out my future. And I think that's really cool. So the next part of the notebook is the blueprint, which is what we're talking about today. So we're going to just get into it. I'm basically going to tell you what the part of the blueprint is, and then I will share a little bit about my blueprint. So that way you guys can kind of get the vision of like what I'm trying to do here to help y'all. The very first one is the vision. I know I put that in the front, but we're also going to write it again in the blueprint, but you can kind of like summarize it a little bit at the beginning, but then you're going to go into depth. So you have your overarching, like this is the vision, like in 3 to 4 sentences, this is the vision of what I'm trying to get to. Then after that, you're going to say, how do your days look? How do you want to feel? What does your work-life balance, your home look like, your money look like, travel, health, relationships, your mindset, all of it goes under the vision. I want you to put these in detail because when you put something in detail, yes, it can change. Like you're not going to beat yourself up if like in a year later, you're like, never mind, I really don't want that. It's just so that way you have this goal in mind of like, I'm reaching for bigger, I'm reaching for better, and I'm not settling for something underneath. But again, it's okay. It's okay if you don't want to do that later. Like if you change your mind, it's okay. Our minds change and that's all right. That's just life. So I'm going to tell you my day-to-day, my feeling, my work-life balance. I also put in here money, relationships, and mindset. So for my day-to-day, I put wake up early, spend time with God on my screened-in patio, because I want a screened-in patio, play and talk with my kids once I start a family, work out, tidy up rooms that have so that way I can have a clean space 99% of the time. I want to start work Monday through Thursday around 10 a.m. and finish around 4 p.m. I want to schedule one fun thing to do as a family together, like weekly. I want to have lunch as a family. Honestly, all meals as a family. When I was growing up, meals were such a big deal, and we always sat at the table together, like no matter what anybody else's day looked like, no matter where we were. My stepdad was at work. My mom was doing something. She's a busy lady. My brother would have like basketball practice. My sister would have gymnastics. We would be at school, all the things. But then like at 5:30, 6:30, we all sat down for dinner no matter what was going on. And I love that. So I want to bring that to like my future family. Like we just eat meals together. I started going also based on like year and quarters as well. So like the big things in quarters and years that I really want to do is travel. So I want to take one big vacation a year and 4 smaller ones throughout each quarter. So like just take a break each quarter. And I actually decided that I wanted to do that this year, and I kind of have. It just, a lot of the things that were like breaks weren't like just vacation, but I was traveling and I was not working. I don't know if that counts, but I'm going to get better and it will be intentional next year for sure. How I want to feel in my future is honestly the same way that I feel right now, but happy, confident, excited, grateful, and thankful. I want to be those things to have a better life. Like nobody likes to be sad. Nobody likes to not be grateful. Nobody likes to not be thankful. I really just don't want to take things for granted because again, these are also things like that I pray for. Like this whole vision is something that I pray for. And so I really don't want to take it for granted when I achieve that. Like, no, thank you. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful for those things. And then my work-life balance, I want to be completely quote unquote off grid to work related things on Sunday and Saturday. Like I don't want to respond to any emails, any clients, anything. And because I want content creation to be my full-time like job, I kind of get to make the rules for that. And I want to put in the work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday kind of be like, okay, if I'm needed, I will be there. If not, there's a podcast that I listened to. The girl that was talking, she was saying that she like hits the ground running Monday through Thursday, and then Friday she has a half day. And I was like, that's so smart. Like maybe I should start just doing Friday half days because I really enjoy my clients and working for other people, but I also just really enjoy like my home and doing things in my home and spending time with my husband and all the things. So yeah, I don't know. We'll get there. But I want Fridays to be my if I'm needed days, but Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4 are my work days. So even if I go past 4, I think I put that there just so that way I knew like how I should be wrapping up. If I have to go longer, 1 day or 2 days or literally all of those days to make sure that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the most chill days possible, I'm willing to do that. That is your vision. That's what you're reaching for. That's what you're going for. And notice how specific I was on like the littlest things. Like my work schedule is 10 to 4. My being off grid is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like I was so specific so that way I have that goal to reach. And if I decide that maybe one day I don't care, maybe I want to work Fridays, then I can scratch that. It's okay. But for now, I know that's something that I want and that's something that I'm going to reach for. So once you finish your vision, writing down your vision, that's what you're reaching for. That's what you're going towards. You're going to write down your big goals, 3 to 5 pillar goals that you can work toward. So this can be career goals, this can be income goals, this could be routines. What are the things that are going to help you get to that dream life? Or what are going to be the things that are going to help you start to live the way that you want to live? The thing about these goals are that they need to be obtainable and realistic, but still ambitious. Okay. So if you work at McDonald's, don't expect McDonald's to pay you $50,000 at the end of your work week. It's just not going to work like that. But you could say at the end of the week or at the end of every pay period, I'm going to put aside X amount of money to get to a $50,000 savings. These big goals don't have to be something that you have to obtain within the next week, within the next month, even within the next year. It can take time, but you're setting in place now those goals that are obtainable. Okay, so the easiest way to set these goals are to like realistically look at your life. Okay, look at what is obtainable and what's sustainable for you in the moment, because you can always increase these later. So like I said, if you are working at McDonald's and you want $50,000 in savings, don't expect all $50,000 to come from McDonald's at the end of the week. If you can only put $5 into the savings towards that, put $5 in the savings towards that. Because one day you might have a better job where you can then put $500 into savings every single time. Remember, where are you now? What's realistic and what's going to be sustainable for you? So, my big goals. Number one, I have 3 here. Number one is to become a full-time content creator, to be the healthiest version of myself, and to become debt-free. I'm going to put up a little diagram of what I did next so that way you can see. You're going to put your goal, you're going to put your daily habit, and you're going to put your weekly habit if there's daily and weekly habit differences. Sometimes there might not be. For becoming a full-time content creator, something daily that I can do is research what's working and what's not working. That is a daily thing because the algorithm's always changing. They're always updating apps. They're always adding new features, always doing new things to help creators and to help people that want to become creators. And so if I just sit back and I'm like not ever researching and I'm just like, I want to post this content and I want to do that content, I could go on a whole rabbit trail of this. But so a weekly habit for that is to post 3 to 5 times a week on my short form content and post 1 time a week on YouTube, which is my podcast. And that's how I plan on becoming a content creator. Right now, this is what is sustainable for me. I don't think that I would be able to post twice a week consistently. I don't think that I would be able to post 10 times a week consistently. I needed to think, okay, what can I do right now that I can be consistent with? And if this is the schedule that I have for the rest of my career, cool. If I can start posting more later, cool. But for right now, this is where I'm starting. This is like the base. The second goal of mine is be the healthiest version of me. So a daily thing for me, or I guess this should be weekly, but I'll read some of my daily ones. Drink at least 40 ounces of water. I'm not really good at drinking a whole lot of water, so I have to put that there. Eat 3 meals a day. Again, if I'm not hungry in the morning, I don't want to eat, but food fuels the body. And when you're eating good things, you should be eating like a lot of good things and not just being like, oh, I want to get skinnier, so I'm just like going to eat these little nuts here and things there. And honestly, I just got a dietitian through Nourish. This is not sponsored. I actually just really love it. I just got a dietitian on there and I've been like learning things for my body. I've been learning more about like what's good for my body, what I should be eating, what I shouldn't be eating. I also use the Trainwell app, which I've talked about on my YouTube channel before. I don't know if I've talked about it on my podcast, but I really love Trainwell. I'll put the link down below for you to check them out. It's really awesome. It's a virtual trainer and they put together workouts for you. When I say for you, I mean like specifically for you, not for your friend, not for class, not for a group of people, but for you. And I think it's really awesome because my trainer like checks in on me like pretty much daily. We talk about all types of things. She's really awesome. I love her. And I only work out 30 minutes every other day and I stretch for 5 to 10 minutes on the off days. So it's not even super extensive, but I'm putting something into place that I can obtain and that I can sustain, and I'm feeling good. So I put the wellness plan together. My weekly habit will be to track my mood, my energy, and my sleep. I just got this ring. It's like an Aura Ring dupe off of Amazon, $38, and it works well. And I can't, talk too much about it because I got it today. But like I was like testing things out. I was like walking and counting my steps, and then I would go back to the app and be like, okay, accurate, because I just counted them and it says the same thing. Buy at your own risk, because there was very much mixed reviews on this ring. I just want to put that out there. Okay, so now you have your vision, you have your big goals. Now you're going to think of some mindset shifts. And in my notebook, I actually put 3 mindset shifts, but I have 5 blank spaces to write more in as I become aware of them. Sometimes I feel like we're not aware of the mindset shifts that we have to make or that we should make before we grow or before we move on. So I personally left space open to be able to put more if needed. So a couple of mine are let go of hustle and burnout culture, be okay with taking time, and focus on consistency over perfection. So I want to dive a little bit into these to kind of like, I guess, also give them to you as mindset shifts. But to let go of hustle and burnout culture is so big. I think even as somebody, me, hello, who talks about like no hustle, no burnout, there's still that like societal pressure. And then also, I think for me personally, I just have like tunnel vision. And even though when I have that tunnel vision, it's almost like adrenaline. Like when you are filled with adrenaline, you can kind of like just push through and do something that you normally might not be able to like push through and do. But then at the end of it, like I'd say if you have like adrenaline in an injury and you play sports and you're like, oh no, I'm good because your adrenaline is pumping, but then after the game or after you're done playing, you like go to sit down and your like ankle is throbbing. It's like that. You go with this tunnel vision and you're like, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm like, I have the power. I'm going to push through. And then once you're done and you finish it, it's like, I don't want to record another podcast. I don't want to record another social media post, anything. Like you can just get to that point. And so I have to let go of that. Like if I say I'm done doing social media related stuff at this time, I need to actually abide by that and stop doing it at that time. That way, you know, I always have that excitement going. So that's just one of my mindset shifts. Another one is to be okay with slow growth. And last week, you know, I talked about wanting to be a full-time content creator and podcaster by the end of 2025. That seems really fast only because there's 5 months left and I like actually admitted that's what I wanted to do. But I've been like on this content creation journey for a really long time. And so I think that just like being here now and like really wanting to put the work in and really wanting to see a difference in my social media accounts, in my podcast, and like how I do things, I realized that I needed to go through everything else to get here. My content that I was trying to do last year at this time wasn't aligned with what I'm doing right now. And I think that right now what I'm doing is the most aligned I felt with my content in a really, really long time. Even when doing nails, I always kind of just felt like there was something all the way girly or I had to be all the way like elegant and there was no space for like cozy and in the middle. It was really hard for me to bring cozy and nails together. I don't know why. So be okay with slow growth because slow growth is going to help you just learn things. Your path will just kind of like start to come together. But anyways, on to the very last page, which is put your plans into action. So you're going to break down what you're doing right now and honestly break down what you're going to do like going forward. This is going to be your chance to actually start putting what you want to do into action. So those big goals that we talked about, you're going to start doing things to obtain those goals, but obviously doing something that is sustainable for you right now and where you are in life. So you're going to start writing down your weekly routines, your work plans, financial plans, self-care things, and you're going to write down one thing that you're going to do for those things daily, weekly, monthly to achieve those goals. Okay. I already said this, but I want to work Monday through Thursday and make Fridays an if I'm needed day to stay close by. I'll just be close by, but I don't have to like sit down and be at the computer. And I'm going to use that day for content creation for myself. So at the time of recording this, it's a Thursday and this will be going live Sunday. And I do like to give myself time to edit these podcasts because podcasts are long and I need time to edit them. So having Friday be the day that I edit my content or that I record my content helps so much because I'm editing other people's content and like attending to other people's content for the rest of the week. So to give myself one day of just like, this is like how I'm going to plan my content and do all my content and everything, I think is like genius on my part. So I put in mine specifically just because I'm like also reaching for a career and not just like in my personal life, even though I did put in like the weekly routines in my personal life, I put them separately because I just needed it to be separate. If you want to put them all together, you can put them all together. But I put my career for weekly routines, and then for personal weekly routines, I put get up at 7 to 7:30, pray, stretch, work out, eat a good meal, tidy up one part of the house to keep it clean. After work, go on a walk, cook dinner, and do things that I enjoy. So those are things that I wanted to do. I posted, I don't remember when it was. It was a couple of weeks ago at this point. I posted like, we're going to build your summer dream summer like morning routine or something like that. I can't remember what I called it. And the very first thing that I said was, you're going to get up 3 to 4 hours before you have to go. And after I posted it, I was thinking, Michaela, some people wake up at 5 a.m. to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. Nobody's waking up at 2 a.m. to have an entire morning. And I realized that after I had posted it, and people were in the comments like 3 to 4 hours, like, girl, what are you talking about? And so I want to clear the air right now. I want to clear the air. This is your dream routine. Okay, your dream routine. If you can't obtain the 3 to 4 hours, I'm blessed to be able to do that because I work for myself. But if you can't do that, if it's not sustainable, if it's just like, girl, nobody wants to be up at 2 a.m. when they have to be at work at 6:30, okay? Nobody wants to do that. If you can't do that, wake up 30 minutes before and like pick 2 of the things that are super important to you. And you can plan in advance. Like you can still have a good breakfast, like take it with you on the road or eat it there, but like you made overnight oats or whatever. But pick the 2 to 3 things. So like for me, the most important things would be if I only had 30 minutes before, like if I only had an extra 30 minutes, the most 2 important things for me would be to pray and stretch. When I say like putting these plans into action, I'm saying like do things that are going to start putting you toward that life that you want to live. Don't like quit your job so that way you can wake up 3 to 4 hours before you want to start your responsibilities. Like don't do that. Don't do that. So I cleared the air. I cleared the air. If somebody wants to clip this, because I'm not going to, and put it on TikTok to show those people in my comments, that would be greatly appreciated. But if not, it's fine. I also wanted to talk about my self-care because self-care is something that you can implement tonight if you want to, okay? It's Sunday when I'm putting this out. So Sundays are the days that I take my everything showers. Girls, if you know, you know. You shave, you wash your hair, you do a scrub, you do a face mask, you do all the things, all the girly things, and you're like set for the week. That's how I feel. I'm like, I'm good for the week. Like I'm clean. I'm good. And then on Sunday, I'll do it all over again to be good for next week. So that's like one thing that I do self-care wise every single week. Another thing that I can do every week if I feel like it are my nails, but that's really a 2 to 3 week type thing. Just it depends on how I'm feeling about my nails. Like right now, I think that they look nice. They look beautiful. I love them, but I'm kind of ready for something else. So this might be, I honestly also think that this is 2 weeks. So that makes sense. But yeah, I remember doing them and being like, yeah, this is cute, but I'm not going to keep this forever. And then for something that's like super, super simple, if you're like, girl, I can't take an everything shower every single week, every single Sunday. I can't, what else did I say? Oh, I put do a face mask twice a week. I can't do a face mask twice a week. The simplest thing that you can do is heat up some water and get a tea bag, and 5 minutes before bed, go lay in your bed and drink that tea. Okay? That one, if you can't do it, I can't help you. Okay? If you can't do that one, I cannot help you. This is the plan that I am betting on right now. And I know it will evolve. I know that it could change, but I really wanted this to inspire you. I think I've told you guys this before, but the mic cover, I hate that feeling. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. And this just rubbed against it. And now my skin is like goosebumps. Like so bad. That's crazy. I don't know why I can't stand that feeling. But anyways, I wanted this to be an inspiration to you. I wanted it to be something that you can actually see how you're going to obtain certain things like on paper. It can be the biggest dream you have, or it could be within the next 10 to like 5 to 10 years. That's like what my plans are. I'm excited for you. I am so excited for you, and I'm excited for me. So if you want, journal all of this out. I hopefully decided to put all the text on the screen so you can kind of like see what it is that you need to do, and you can journal it out, DM me, share it with a friend, all the things. But this is how we stay cozy and thrive together, y'all. This is how we do it, by just writing things down and just like sticking to it and like having discipline. We're all going to live our dream life together. I'm so excited. I thank you guys so much for being a part of this podcast and all the things. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Don't forget to rate the podcast if you're on any other platform that's listening to my podcast. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, mostly TikTok right now. I don't know if it's still being banned. I doubt it. But for the time being, that's where I will be. Mostly. Instagram has kind of just like left me discouraged. It's something I do want to conquer one day, but TikTok is where it's at right now, for sure. So make sure you follow me on TikTok. Make sure you subscribe. Follow me on all the things. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And I will see you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.